What's going on, everybody? Brian here from Brian's Broadcast. I hope all of you are doing fantastic. Today we are reviewing Zaharoff Signature Bloom, and if you're a first-time visitor on my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button if you like contents like these. Let's talk about this wonderful fragrance. For full disclaimer, this fragrance was sent to me as a gift by George himself, but that doesn't mean this review is going to be a biased one. My reviews remain unbiased, gifted bottle or not. Here's the beautiful box. Take a look. If you have missed my first impression video, go ahead and check it out. The link is in the description, also somewhere here. You can find it out. And look at this beautiful thing. So it's all about jasmines, right? This fragrance Bloom is all about jasmine, the different types of jasmine. And look at this. It's like a paper cutout resembling the various layers and different types of jasmine that's being used. And look at this. Really gorgeous packaging, I must say, with that white and green perfectly matches. Of course, the typical Zaharoff interiors, and that's about it. Let me show you the beautiful bottle. Look at this. Very nicely done, like with the white cap. Resembles like the jasmine, the different types of florals, the white florals, and on the back you've got some jasmine, star jasmine kind of design. I don't know, whatever you call it. That's about it. Really nice. And for the notes, you've got on the top, you've got gardenia, coconut, and star jasmine. On the mids, you've got amber, Arabian jasmine, Egyptian jasmine, orange blossom, and red peony. On the base, you've got sandalwood, bourbon vanilla, oud, sugarcane, white jasmine, more jasmine, ylang-ylang, myrrh, and olibanum tears. Now, guys, let me tell you something. When I first saw all that floral notes, although it was a gifted bottle, it kind of threw me off. I was like, oh God, I hope this fragrance does not lean too much feminine. Because personally, me, I do not like fragrances that lean too feminine. Unisex is perfectly fine. Slightly feminine is doable, but then again, depends on the DNA. Bloom was a whole different game. So when I first sprayed this, I was just literally praying. Like when I was doing the first impression, I was like, oh God, please don't be too feminine, because otherwise, I don't know, this would probably be sitting in the back collecting dust. But no, it was a whole different feeling and vibe. So what did I get out of this fragrance? When I first sprayed Bloom, it was this wonderful, although floral, but not too feminine. Of course, florals tend to be a bit feminine, but I don't know how George and Claude did this, but I felt personally, I'm no perfumer, I'm no expert, but I guess this was really tough to keep it unisex, like completely balanced. I don't know how they managed it, but I'm sure it was quite the work. It stays unisex. Smells beautifully fresh, floral, and at the same time with that coconut, as I mentioned in my first impression video, the coconut, it's not the water. It's mostly about the semi-hardened flesh and the sweetness and the juiciness that comes from the coconut flesh. Beautiful opening. Like it's very different, and it's unlike anything that you may have smelled out there. It's beautiful. It's wonderfully done. Next, as the fragrance is drying down, the whole jasmine thing develops. Now, the jasmine over here, it's not one of your super animalic or like super narcotic kind of vibe, but it's there. It's very nice. It's a very white kind of floral vibe that you're getting. And the juicy, succulent part from the coconut, it kind of propagates all the way from the opening into the mids. Now, of course, you've got so many other things going on, but the red peony over here, I believe it adds to the sweetness, like a depth enhancer. That's the kind of thing you're getting. Now, of course, with all the jasmine and everything, there's some kind of a green nuance to it. And somewhere in the mids, like around 4 to 5 hours mark, I do get some kind of like a spicy, like a green spicy kind of undertone. And there was this one point where I don't know, there was something, maybe the amber was working with something else. Maybe it was one of the spicy amber green kind of vibe that was combining. And it really did not feel good to my nose. But thank God it was short-lived and it did not feel bad. So of course, like there is certain parts to this fragrance somewhere in the mids where I did feel the jasmine being a tad bit animalic. Like there was this narcotic animalic kind of vibe, but that was, again, it was very mild. And maybe because like I've smelled so many different fragrances that's why I got it. Maybe you may have not even detected it. Let me know in the comments if you did, if you felt something else. But like I said, there was this some green spicy part. It kind of felt bad at some point, like I said, like 4 to 5 hours mark. But that was short lived, like around 10-15 minutes maybe. It was gone. The spiciness is gone. Now I'm left with wonderful florals. At this point, like around 6 to 7 hours mark, the whole juicy, succulent sweetness is gone. Now you're heading towards the dry down where you have this like woody and dry kind of nuances. The sandalwood is one of that creamy in nature. The bourbon vanilla is again creamy, dry, creamy texture. It kind of like tones down the oud over here that's being used. Sugarcane was an interesting note. I was hoping to get some of the sugarcane, but it looks like the sugarcane added to that natural kind of sweetness, like not that chemical or, sweetener kind of vibe. So it feels very natural, very smooth, like except for somewhere in the mids. Like I said, like there was this part where I was not liking it, but that was short lived. But beyond that, it's a very smooth fragrance. Further drying down, you will probably not even detect the myrrh and the olibanum, but it's working in the background as like probably a depth enhancer. So you feel like the layers, flowers, and all the other notes working in conjunction. They glide over each other. They do not collide. So that was the best part. Like you don't get like a chemical mess kind of feel. You get the smoothness, you get all the layers of this fragrance as it develops, as it opens up. Of course, the jasmines, unless of course we are not trained professionals in this line, so I may not be getting all the jasmine, but I did feel that things were different. Like maybe towards the mids, it was like all about white florals, but towards the base, I felt there was some kind of that yellow vibe. So it's almost like a yellow floral kind of vibe that I was getting towards the dry down. Of course, I got like a tad bit of sourness, like a tarty sourness to it. That was very mild, but besides that, the creamy sandalwood with all that bourbon vanilla, beautiful. So Signature Bloom for me was a super hit, I must say. And George, I don't know how you did it. Claude, how did you guys even manage to keep this thing super unisex? Like, I was really curious to find out. But yeah, one of the few reasons why I did not buy Bloom, although a lot of Fragcom members did mention that it's perfectly unisex, and we were scared too, and even then, we still bought it, and it's a super hit. I must agree with them. Signature Bloom is a super hit. If you are somebody who enjoys florals, you must check this one out. Get a sample from their website. They have official samples. Go ahead and check them out before buying, so that you don't end up wasting money if you don't like it, of course. But do give this fragrance a try. Signature Bloom has my stamp of approval. So guys, that was my honest take on Signature Bloom from Zaharoff. Again, this was a gifted bottle, but the review remains unbiased. So until the next one, guys, please take care, stay safe, and all the best.